What's up, y'all? Indeed. Welcome to the pre-show. We are all catching up. The last time I saw this beautiful gentleman, he was floating down the river. And then he just disappeared.
That's what happened. Floating on the river took a lot out of me. I'm sleepy. No, it was actually not. So the crazy part was
Alcohol-wise, I did not get very drunk that time. No, not at all.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if I got drunk, I wouldn't have woken up for 3 days. Dude, I don't know what it was, because, man, I think the sun was hitting different this time around, but I don't even think it was that hot because the clouds were out a little bit. I think it was that river. That river was trying to take us out.
Well, I talked to one of my friends about it, and he was like, bro, how much paddling did you do in the last, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? And I was
a lot.
Yeah.
It was straight paddling.
Hey, first time chatter. Admong
1112. Oh.
Adamog. Come on, y'all. No, I'm kidding. No, so we'll get to that. Cause I did not get into the water except when it tried to choke me out. Outside of that, I did not get into the fucking river only because I had my flip-flops on, which is on me. And I said, if I didn't only have one pair of slides, then I'd be swimming a little bit more to assist in the situation. Otherwise, nah. I like these ones. The ones I'm wearing right now, I like them too much. That said, I got home, and I wasn't even that bad Saturday.
Yeah.
And I think that was the problem. I stayed up pretty late on Saturday. So Sunday, my body was like, and I promise you, I went to bed real late. Basically Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. Was like, cool, I'll be up to record some shit. Knock the fuck out. So hopefully y'all guys got some recording in. I don't know.
We planned 3, we did 1.
But it was a long one.
Hey, that's good for the peoples.
Yeah, we planned to do the Sexcellence, and then I was, Elijah, you literally do a music react podcast. Do my music podcast. And he was like, yeah, I'd love to, but we really need to do that anime podcast. And I was like, sure. TJ said he was down. Cricket. And I was like, well, TJ has disappeared. And he was like, well, I need to do research before I do the music. So let's just go to Twin Peaks right now.
I love it. That's fine. It's all good. We have our moments. Normally when I commit, I usually am like, once I put a hard yes, I'm usually there. This is, I would knock the fuck out. That said, the river was trying us this time. Because fucking... You want to talk about fucking MacGyver Marco over here, fucking swimming half the fucking time on the river. He was in the river more than he was in the fucking float. And then JJ, they just had your float said, magnetically negative. I don't want to be connected to anybody. Solo dolo by himself half the time, and he had to get out of his float. And then my float tried to choke me out. First of all, time out. Hey-o, an anonymous gifter.
I didn't know you could do that.
Giving out a couple of gift subs. Thank you so much. Why are you being so shy?
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that.
Maybe their name is Anonymous Gifter. Who can check the chat, right?
If you're anonymous.
But then why is he a spooky ghost?
Yeah. But no, but it was a good time. It was a good time. I always love floating. Always forget how much it is. I don't know, man. This summer was just different draining.
And it was funny because it should have been easy mode. The river was full.
Yeah.
The clouds were out. And it didn't storm on us.
And we didn't drink. And we really did not drink that much.
I'm surprised that I was the one that recovered the quickest. Because I didn't sleep when we got back.
Oh, really?
I stayed up with Maggie.
Well, I took a nap, and then I think I got Elijah sniffles, and then that's what kind of took me out for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to pay a fee. If you bring your own float, it's super cheap. But if you need to rent a float, it's
They
20,
did raise
30.
the price this time.
Oh yeah, that shit they fucking mugged us. How many in your car? Huh? 2 for the big one in the back. I said, huh? It's like, don't do that to me. But what my recommendation would be, go get a float from HEB for $17.
Yeah.
Pays for itself once.
Pays for it, yeah, and then bring that shit back whenever you like to. It's $10.
As long as you don't pop it.
Sam is has his heart set on doing it on July 4th, and I'm like,
good luck with that, buddy.
Hey, in July, You trying to, bro? Last time, July. Last time thought this time was bad, bro. We've got that chokehold heat this week. This week,
That's why it was so fucking hot today.
bro. I walked outside. How do I put it? I walked outside. What was it? 2 days ago. And Michaela was like, "It's so hot. It's so hot. It's so hot." I'm like, "You Washington-blooded individual." I went out there. I was like, "Oh no, it's that heat where the breath that you breathe out is cooler than what's going into your body, and that's when it's hot." Cause it was that sock hot.
Yeah, no, I've been waking up early and going like walking every morning. Today I woke up late. I woke up at the astoundingly shocking hour of 9 a.m. And the sun was already like beating my ass.
Focus said, "Hey, check yourself. Check Why you think you ain't from around here?"
It's literally that level in Mario 3 where it's...
Bro, motherfucker just in the...
But it's still, like, temperature-wise, not that hot. We're not hitting 112 or anything like that. It's just something about it is just, like, it's directly hitting you in the dick.
Yeah.
No, because it's...
Today there was no cloud cover. That was the thing.
It was... It's 90 something and then feels like something else. Because to your point, it's not 112, but it feels like 112 on the thing. Like on some of those days. The other day it feels like 112, and I said if it feels like something, that's what it is. You've heard me say this on the show multiple times. If I see that temperature say feels like, no, I might feel like something some days.
Feels like staying in.
Yeah, feel like keep my ass out of that heat.
Fun fact, so climate change. Whoa, shit! Woo. Look at that. We're just thank you, Tino Chia and Maggie, for all the subs. I can't even count how many with this drop.
Yeah.
We got the
Sugar mamas.
Guess I gotta take my shirt off.
Not again.
Undo one more button.
Yeah. Gotta take my shirt off again.
This is why Sam loves the Animexcellence. It's like, bro, I don't understand it. I don't like it. But every time with this, I really think this is when the hype train comes all the time. This or sports.
No, he's Sammy wanted to join us, but obviously he also got stuck in a heat wave too. Again, that is one of our lovely Mexcellence shirts with all of our faces on there. Some young, some recent, some not now.
No, they're all not. The only one that's recent is Tommy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some recent, some old, but they're all there.
What's that Mitch Hedberg joke? Aren't all pictures of you when you were younger?
No, we how do I put it? But it's been a good week. How about y'all? Been all right?
Yeah, just doing my work thing, adjusting to the new schedule. I have a pretty awesome concert scheduled on Saturday. Actually, another one tomorrow. So back-to-back concertage into the music show that we'll be recording for you on Sunday. So that's pretty dope way to close the weekend off for me.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna go have a fancy lunch somewhere tomorrow.
Treat yourself, King.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm gonna go see some of my former work friends. I mean, they're still my friends, but we don't work together no more. The refugees of Blizzard. I'm gonna go hang out with them at the yard, which is not too far from the apartment. Usually they hang out up north. So
But they're coming there.
I'm super down now that they're like, oh yeah, we'll go to St. Elmo's. Cool. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I do kind of want to bring, at least for a couple of the games, you guys down south where more of the sports bars are.
I think that's as long as it's
There's this nice little sports bar called Little Woodrow's.
No,
As a former UT student, I'm sure TJ is very acquainted with.
I have so many memories that I don't remember there. It's great. No, I'm always down to go. Like, my rule of thumb with football is always just like, just wherever I'm at, I'm just gonna be there, sit there and watch whatever game I'm there for, and hopefully remember most of it. That said,
I don't normally have a problem with that, but
that said, the missus is leaving on Saturday for 2 days, so it's me and the animals at the crib. And
can I hang out? Can I be third animal?
you get fed. Yeah, you get fed. So I'm cooking up a storm for myself, treating myself. Kayla always gets upset because he's like, you always like cook your best stuff whenever you're by yourself, and I'm like, yeah, that's when I get out the nice china.
Well, there's like a time and a cost investment that make it very hard. That it's just like, well, it's not our anniversary or some shit like that. Like,
I cook her. So this is I'm the primary cook in the household. Mm-hmm. She cook more than her, not because she doesn't want to cook. More so because I'm better. But you thought I was going to say I'm kidding.
I need a shot.
Yeah, thought I was going to say I'm kidding. No, but no, seriously. I genuinely I just love cooking, right? But sometimes when I'm like, I don't want to have to consider someone else's flavor profile, their taste considerations, XYZ. I just want to make something for me. And so those are those opportunities. So that's when I usually get a little experimental, get some molecular gastronomy. I do some fancy shit.
Well, that's basically what I do at least once every payday, Friday or Saturday. So it's always a steak for sure, but the sides I get to fucking play with. But it's always just for me because I don't want the double the workload. Yeah. Also, it kind of just sucks to invite someone over and then it's just like wait there for 2 hours while I.
Hang on. The spaghetti didn't boil quite as fast as I thought it would.
I have like cooking tool sets depending on the time. Like if you're at my crib, she lives with me, so like we live together. I can't say she lives with me. We live together. Come on, ride the train. Ride it. Woo woo. No, but so like the 2 hour wait is like I'm cooking after this today, and that's. I'm on 30-minute set. I have my 15 minutes or less set, I got my 2 hours and some time set. We just kind of pull and incorporate. But I think this weekend I'm going to do something Korean. That'll be cool. Do a little Korean.
I used to fuck with the ribs. That's what I would do once in a while.
Yeah, I used to make chashu.
Yeah, but do some pork belly for sure. Yeah. Pork belly. It's probably some galbi. Pull out the grill I got. Oh nah! I don't like someone else in my kitchen when I'm cooking. I am one of those prima donnas. I'm like, get out my way.
I have that,
the kitchen's huge too.
Yeah, the reason I have that was because in the house I grew up in, kitchen was a stove and one cabinet. So
yeah, I got space.
Fits one person.
I got space in my kitchen, and that's just because when I'm in a rhythm, I'm in a rhythm. Daddy's just trying to do a bunch, and I'll answer your question during the show. Gaming introvert power. Don't worry, I am paying attention to what you said. But
it's literally half the show most of the time.
Talk about gaming in the actual show, but I will answer your question. But yeah, no, my dad was also the person who cooked. I think I don't want to say the majority, but he was a very big cook at my house, and he was just like both of my bed.
He's dying, gentlemen, who will soon be like Sam over here.
The river got him.
Oh, the river's back.
What did you say?
That water's been in your lung for a week.
Just these little amoebas, just like
just waiting. But now I really do love cooking quite a bit. So if anyone wants to see what I throw down sometimes, I'll maybe post pictures in the Discord occasionally. But I do. I was like,
we have a Discord?
We have a Discord. It's there.
Oh, you still need to add the fitness thing that everyone was asking about.
It's like I pop in there. I like to be a ghost. I like to before
I'm on or I'm out. That's really how it works.
But it's been a good couple days, and I'm still a free man until hopefully the end of the month, so that'll be a good thing.
Oh, really? I thought you were already at work.
Nah. Figuring that situation out for the end of the month.
All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and start the show then.
I do it?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Animexcellence, where it doesn't smell like a Smash Bros. Tournament in here. How are you guys doing? It doesn't. We smell great. Made sure to shower before I came here. That's what I added the extra time. Like I was about to leave my... Like you ever, get up and be like, oh, wait, I smell like a hyena. Let me go take a shower. I was just in my funk. I didn't shower this morning, so I was just, sitting there. That heat. Devilish combination.
I was about to say, it almost doesn't matter. Like, as soon as you get up,
you walk outside, it's like, damn, moist. Wet.
I need all my clothes to be made out of Under Armour right now.
It's like,
As someone who walked in Under Armour today, it does not help much.
No, you still look miserable, but it should wick the sweat off. My name is Marco.
The sweat's what keeps you cool, though. I'm JJ.
Thank you. And you already introduced yourself.
Sorry, I'm curving that other J. Gotta rip it.
Well, as we always start every Animexcellence podcast, what are y'all playing right now?
Myself, nah, but
I think I got the high score on that one.
I'm really streaking.
That Duolingo streak.
In the game rotation right now, I have a funny story for one piece of this. Master Duel, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I play a fuck ton of that. I'm actually almost at 800 hours of Master Duel, which is an unhealthy number. I know, but I've played a shit ton of it, just because it's my monthly little thing. I beat Animal Well, so that was
nice. I've been playing that.
Animal Well is awesome. How do I put it? If you want to talk about an NES amount of guidance, it's Animal Well.
Yeah.
They don't give you shit. And not to say it's like they don't educate you on mechanics and stuff. They don't handhold at all.
No.
In the slightest.
I was playing it in front of Eva last time she was visiting us, and she was like, "What's going on in this game?" And I was like, "You know as much as I do, child."
Yes. It's like,
this is the spot where my character woke up, and now I'm climbing.
Yeah, man.
I found this kick-ass yo-yo, and now I can break shit.
That's how it works. That's really how Animal works. So man, there is some so once you get past once you beat the game,
Yeah.
the real game begins.
I've heard that, yeah.
Man, some of the shit in that bitch, because look, there's some shit in that game that I said, the level of thought. Shout out to game designers. Shout out to the game designer. That man is on a different level of thinking, because I'm like, I don't even know how you came up with this shit. What is it? I am doing a little Elden Ring touch-in, just getting ready for the DLC. I'm looking forward to College Football 25. I saw that in the chat too. That is also something I'm looking forward to. And I have downloaded Crow Country. I'm playing a game called Lunar Lux. A bunch of Steam Deck indie games right now, kind of going through a shuffle. Major games, I have finally cracked open the Final Fantasy Rebirth can.
I think Maggie was playing that.
Man, unfortunately, I've gotten sidetracked with some more Guilty Gear as well. I've been on the Guilty Gear wave because Slayer.
Do they have a new game coming out? Yeah, that's what it was.
No, it was DLC. Yeah, so Slayer just came out, and season 4 is coming up next.
Guilty Gear is the most it's not talked about compared to all the other fighting games, but if you're in, you're in.
It's kind of in this. I think what happens with Guilty Gear is especially because it was Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 6 that dominated the conversation. Beforehand, Guilty Gear was kind of popping, but it's been going there strong underneath all of this, and I'd say it's they're knocking it out of the park with what they're doing. I think even more so than some of the games that have recently come out. But with it's a really healthy time for fighting games with Tekken, with Guilty Gear with Mortal
there
Kombat.
There was a time last year where it was just kind of like my plate's not even empty, and you're
That's literally what it's like. and Grand Blue Refantasy is also like something as well that I've wanted to try out.
Is that Blaze Blue?
No, Grand Blue, totally different.
Oh wow.
I wanted to try Wuthering Waves as well, which was the other, which is basically Genshin Impact. I've never done a gacha game like that, and so it's like, let me.
I played Genshin for a little bit, but me and my brother and one of my friends tried to level up enough to like be able to do multiplayer, like. And we did, but like by the time we got to the level requirement for it, we were like, I'm kind of done, guys.
You're grinding. But sorry, that's kind of. I always have a bunch of shit on my plate. But again, if anyone wants to catch their hands in any of the games that I play, feel free to. I'll beat your ass at most things, especially Strive right now. I'm really confident in my Strive or DNF Duel always. Or, DBZ Fighters is always something. I haven't even played that in like months.
I signed up for EVO 2024 as a spectator this week.
Awesome.
I would love to go to EVO.
That was on my list. That was on my list for what I'd hope we'd do with the podcast, but not looking like it this year.
Well, I mean, whether we're we're gonna be doing hopefully some, even if we can't go to the proper con itself, gonna be doing some auxiliary dream con things, so I'm excited for that since it'll.
Well, that one I am going to, for sure.
I'm going as well. So.
Oh, you're going already? I put in an application for us to be talent, but I saw who was the talent announced today, and I'm like, we're not on that.
I wasn't. Can we be sponsors? We'll be.
Well,
we
have the money for sponsors.
We'll be bus boys.
Well, we passed the time where you pay for a booth, so the only thing left is they pay you to come. So I was like, oh well. What are the chances? Like DreamCon isn't huge, yeah. And then they announced like Tony Chevalier. He's really huge on TikTok.
Oh no, DreamCon's huge. Yeah. No, but it'll be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, no. What about y'all? What are y'all playing?
So right now, the only thing that I randomly picked up, and it was just kind of like going through the game list on Game Pass, and I downloaded Persona 3. Instantly kind of regretted it because it's just kind of like, I remember why I fell out of Persona 4. It's just so many hours before you actually have a persona and are doing actual things.
Not this one.
It was like 2 or 3. It was still a bit.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, this. I was like, honestly, I think this one's probably quicker than the other 2.
Well, it was a lot older. There's only 3 stats is what I've picked up so far. Intelligence, courage, and academics, I think.
Yes, there's only 3 stats. But this one's interesting because I actually think it depends on what you play Persona for, but I think the nuance of combat's there, so you're getting that part. I think the story of Persona 3 is the strongest one.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, so it's a builder. But also, man, the party members in this one, whew.
I think that's kind of one of the reasons I fell off on Persona 4. I was very much like, the immediate friends that you get are not very cool in Persona 4.
So I'd say cast-wise, again, I give a strong... Like, they're very different. I think the Persona 3 cast is probably one of the more mature ones, just in general, just in terms of, like, what's going on with the situations.
Yeah.
So I say you keep on trucking. But no, totally get it. Persona is always a... Hey, don't forget, you got to work before you get to some gameplay.
On the note of Persona, because this made JJ's fucking TikTok page, and he was like, "Hey, do you know this guy?"
Best video game of all time?
Persona.
My man knows. My man knows. But sorry, I meant to mention it during my part. A funny thing that happened was, so if you haven't played a game called Balatro, it is basically like a roguelike poker game.
Oh, okay.
I gifted it to
I like both these things.
You will lose hours. I gifted it to my friend. So I gifted it to my friend, and he started last week. And motherfucker has 40 hours in that bitch. I literally texted me. He texted me the other day. He's like, "You ruined my life." He's like, "I haven't gone to bed before 2 since." I'm like, "I'm sorry. I just wanted to give." I was being nice. I was like, "Hey man, I got really hooked on this. You'll have a ball." No, I hit some chord. Yeah. It's such a good. It's two things I didn't know how they'd mix. High recommendation there. But sorry, continue.
I'm just playing Persona and MK just to get ready for DreamCon. Hopefully, I'm hopefully going to try to enter the tournament. The only thing is I can't get Friday off, so I just hope it starts Saturday.
Hey, I'll be your Phil.
Yeah, you guys look enough alike.
And
Why'd you get worse?
Unfortunately, my MK skills are garbage.
Well, this goes into a different thing where, like, MK1 is very pretty, but it's not a very great game. But there wasn't a lot of teaching you the systems. Like, the Johnny Cage Star thing, I had to figure that out on my own. There was no place, at least when I started playing, there was not a lot of instruction on how that works.
Who right now? I always think, shout out to Guilty Gear. I think the combo trials on Guilty Gear are really good. Street Fighter 6 has really good tutorials and combo trials as well. So yeah.
Tony and Dante were announced today. This is the first round.
You should have put a picture of me on that shit. Should have put a picture of me on the application. I think that would have helped out.
I mean, they asked for our Instagram. I just sent your Instagram, TJ Mana at.
That's how it works.
I really hope they don't check today's story. Based on this crap job of a thumbnail.
You did good.
It's fine.
I just wanted to check really quick what the tournaments were. So, Smash Bros, Tekken 8, Mario Kart. Man, if we can get Key down here. MK1. I didn't even know this. I don't even know what game that is.
Connections. Naruto X.
And Street Fighter.
They're definitely going to have fighters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised. That's dope. Grand Blue got a entry point, so that's cool.
I played 3 of those games.
Oh, you play NBA 2K24?
Exactly, yeah.
Stop lying to the people.
Well, JJ, what are you playing right now since you're not playing NBA 2K24?
I've been playing Animal Well, like we mentioned. I also re-downloaded Rogue Legacy and Rogue Legacy 2 because I never beat them and they're still haunting my dreams. So I jumped back and forth between Animal Well and one of the 2 Rogue Legacies. I also jumped back into Fallout 4 because of the show. I wanted more Fallout in my life. But the big one that I've been...
big in the 2D scrollers right now.
Yeah. It's fun. I like it a lot. I just suck at it. But the big one that I've been playing for the past 2 days, because I finally got geared up enough to where I can survive and get extracted solo, is Helldivers.
Baby. Should have told me. For democracy, baby!
Well, me and my brother played a few times, and then when Elijah came, he's like, bro, I gotta play with you. And I was like, I don't know what you're expecting, bro. I'm level 2.
Nah, Helldivers is a treat. Treat every time.
Yeah, we never extracted me and Elijah, but I leveled up enough to where I have some decent stratagems now to where I can survive on my own. Like, I might extract with only 1 life left, but I left, baby.
I am... Who's that?
The new chatter said they can't see, so I'm saying I'm asking if anyone else can't see. It says we're still live. Let me double check.
Maybe the ad got frozen or something. The ad break. It did that to
Ad
me.
break questionarium. Dismiss.
They might be on YouTube.
We can't see YouTube, chat.
I'm kidding. We don't talk to them.
If anyone else is on YouTube...
No, it says they're good. It says they're good.
Okay. All right.
And I just checked right now. We're good.
Cool.
Hit the refresh button.
Yeah.
We love you.
Are we even on YouTube? I think we lost that ability last week.
Can we reset that up? I was like, it's not hard.
No, well, if you want to do it.
Sure. Yeah, I was like, it takes 2 seconds. It's honestly not that hard.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, it's a bit. Oh, and I already talked about this game before, but I finally bought it and been playing it a little bit. Shishingo. It's a indie game where you are basically a photographer. You walk around Japan and you take pictures, and then
you learn Japanese from that, right?
yeah, it basically makes it a flashcard.
Oh, so my tutor for Japanese, he is making me play through Pokemon Emerald, in Japanese. Tell you first of all, I'm gonna get your shit tested. Play Pokemon in Japanese.
That's something that
Shit.
I've heard before. Where like, if you really want to learn, like,
Play
once
it.
you figure it out, once you've gotten like
Everything's so it takes so much more time. Because like literally, you're like first of all, you have to. It helped. What it challenged me on was how they break up words in Pokemon is very different than just the full sentences of Japanese.
Well, they're not even the same.
oh yeah, their names.
Oh, it's not about the names.
It's not that.
I'd have. It's not even about the name. It's literally about the way they break it up in the sentence structure itself. The names are the easy part because sometimes they're close. Sometimes it's just like, oh, water duck. Like, I mean, it's not like it's like Luzardon. But it's been a very. But I want to talk about learning, bro. Learn the most in this. That last session, my brain left, and I was like, sizzling.
Are the attacks close? Probably not, huh?
No. Actually, there's some funny translation errors with some attacks because, like, Leer
Yeah.
could it mean, depending on how it's spelled,
Yeah.
it's two different things, and the Spanish translation got the wrong word, got the wrong context of
What did they get?
I think it was Leer, but it was like, instead of staring like meanly, they were like stare suggestively.
I think that's charm.
I think
Or flash. It might have been flash, where like it's a flash of light or flash.
It's like
But there were a few like
Pokemon all confused. Like,
yeah, they're like, wait,
what's
what?
happening? Why aren't you attacking?
I can't find it in here. But, oh well. Always love Pokemon. I still want to do a Nuzlocke someday, but I just learned you can't do it with the new games with the XP share just there all the time.
You can still do a Nuzlocke.
Be a lot easier to pass, though.
Yeah, but you
Literally nothing would kill us.
you could still do a Nuzlocke. You can make it work. If there's a will, there's a way. I do
More rules.
Yeah, just a few more rules. Make sure you're not healing during battles. It's very easy. Do a Nuzlocke.
Is that? Oh, that's not part of the rules, is it?
No, but if you set it up to like straight, like to add, usually when it's like, well, it's easy, or the games with XP share, just do it without healing and watch how you get got. Some will catch you slipping.
Yeah, I've kind of wanted to do one of those randomizer ones where like every door and every takes you somewhere else.
I've wanted to do a randomizer for a game not Pokemon, but I thought about doing like there was a really weird period of time where I was watching like randomizer Zelda streams.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I know Majora's Mask like the back of my hand like these dudes do. That shit's on hard. But speaking of games,
Well, the next one, JJ actually takes the floor because he got really excited when this image dropped.
Yeah. My time has come.
there's a lot of ways they can approach this. Yakuza is not played for just the story,
No, yeah.
so I'm interested. But JJ,
I better
there's some
see Dun
context
Dun.
here.
I love the Yakuza, aka Like a Dragon series, and it's been one of my like dream adaptations. That like, man, I really wish, because it's if you play through the story and just the story, like, this is a decent, like, little fucking...
It's enough shit to going on to where it can be multiple seasons of a show, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a good little story. Like, even the first one, which was a PS2 game, has a good, like, pretty intricate crime story. I'm like...
Zero has, like, an immaculate story. I think Zero is, like, actually, like, just a...
0 and 2 probably have the strongest stories, in my opinion. I do like 7 a lot, though. But yeah, no, I love the games for their wackiness and their over-the-topness, but when it comes to the story, when it needs to get serious, it still gets serious. So I'm really excited for this. I want to see what they do with it. I hope they put as much love and attention and quality as they did Fallout, and they don't fuck with the story too much.
I'm with you. I actually, and I'm going to say
I think
this
the video game curse is long dead, right? At this point, like we're up to
Halo
like
still exists.
well,
there's
still get
more positive more recently than negative.
There have
Yeah.
been more positives than negatives, yes.
But I also think, just plain and simple, and I'm going to say this hesitantly, but I'm going to say it. I genuinely trust what Amazon Prime's got over there.
yeah,
They
they have had more hits than misses.
they've had a very consistent round of hits, very consistent number of hits.
I just think whenever Amazon misses you, they find a way to like hide that shit. Like, oh, none of you saw Outer Range? Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to watch it. I just didn't know it existed until like 2 weeks ago.
I also think as a company, right? They're like, shit, we missed. Sir, buy some more shit on Amazon Prime. We'll get that money back. Like, that's what's in their contract. It's like, if your show sucks, you as a director have to buy enough Amazon Prime to compensate for it. But no, to your point, I just want them to be able to healthily blend what Yakuza is. Meaning, I need to see some tiger fighting at least once.
That's in 2, but yeah.
But like, you know, just in terms of like, hit those serious notes. Make sure you throw some lighthearted flags for the fans.
Oh, they have to throw in the Bakamitai. Like, that has to make a cameo.
Some way. But I am excited for it in the sense of truly, if you've never played a Yakuza game, it's just an experience. There's no way to better describe it than like truly a gamer's game.
Yeah.
The sub games in Yakuza are full games.
Yeah.
Literally.
Dragon Cart shit, like...
No, what was it? They have a whole maid cafe.
Oh yeah, the cabaret club.
Cabaret club, and that's a full game. That's a full game in another game. It's a game within a game within a game.
I killed so many hours in 0 just doing the cabaret club.
It's ridiculous.
And part of it was just that I really like that song that they play in the background.
My buddy gets lost in Mahjong. He literally is like, I don't play Yakuza because I always get lost in Mahjong. He's like, I just start Mahjong and then...
Yeah, that's the one trophy
pass.
that eludes me because I'm like, I'm never going to remember all these symbols.
Dragon, petals, yes, score. But no, I'm with you. I'm very excited about it. Looking forward to it. And Marcos, have you ever played a Yakuza game?
I've never played a Yakuza game. I've seen JJ play like 4 or 5 hours of Yakuza on one of our anniversary streams, kind of thing.
You want me to see me play more?
That was
Our anniversary is coming up, ain't it? Shit, I have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
well, it'll probably be on us to plan, but on the other end of the spectrum, I'm not sure it was an anniversary stream. Him and Sam's birthday are like a day apart. Like it might have been that too. And me and Tommy it's just with Tommy, sometimes he's like, I want to do something big. So we held the video game tournament. I want something just the lads. And we went to the steakhouse. I don't know what Tommy's going to want to do this year. I just try to placate because I'm fine with everything as long as we're together.
My shit's simple.
Come drink Bacardi 151 whenever TJ tells you to.
I sound the horn. This year we're going out again. Proper, actually.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah.
in suits?
No.
You're gonna have to give me a little bit more time.
It's like,
I gave Sam a pass for July 4th, but other than that, I was like, I'm gonna try to not drink from here to at least your birthday, and it's just because I want to lose the maximum amount of weight that I can for DreamCon because I'm gonna be with Elijah.
cool. Oh, my, doing my stuff the first week of July.
July 4th, 7th.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, that'll save you some work.
I am drinking tomorrow, so
Only because the weekend following, there's some other stuff going on too. But would y'all recommend Final Fantasy 16? Yes, actually. Final Fantasy 16 is great. It's different than the other Final Fantasy games. It is the rare exception, and I'm going to say this like as a positive, where it is cinematic as fuck and it feels like it. Think there are some qualms I have gameplay wise occasionally, but when it comes to pound for pound, like, thought it was a fine adventure to go through. If it's on, definitely if it's on sale, pick it up. But you will not be disappointed from like a graphical. And I think the main character, excuse me, the main character Clive, and slight spoiler. Not really. There's a Cid in this game, and their dynamic is phenomenal. So, but
He's dying, ladies and gentlemen.
the
river.
are coming back.
motherfuckers won't let me talk. Oh no, I got hiccups.
Oh, it's the opposite of RFK's brainworm.
I'm telling you,
I wish
I want a brainworm for president.
I really wish RFK's brainworm would let him talk less. That's all I would want.
I'm telling you why I want a brainworm for president. No one agrees with me. Brainworm would be funny.
I'd vote for Brainworm.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
If they're like the worms from Futurama, yeah, 100%.
now he'll be randomly. He's like, and now everyone must graze in the dirt. Celebrate our people. It's like, what people? Brainworm.
Well,
But there is something going on. Games. Summer.
Yes. Classic Summer Game Fest? No,
Yeah.
That's in
I
July.
think it's just Summer Games Fest.
Summer Games Fest.
It's the annual show that the Dorito Pope, forever may he reign, puts on and shows us the new releases, what's upcoming. Yes, there he is in all his glory.
Why is
Yeah.
it called the Dorito Pope?
Because he used to have a show on Spike TV, and it was usually sponsored by Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Hey man, I had this Dorito flavored by Mountain Dew.
Oh, the
Mango?
mango?
They're
Yeah.
terrible. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It made me feel like when you buy something and like you feel bad. Like I was buying this and the clerk looked at me like, come on, man. You're better than this. Look looked at me like, come on, dude. You don't need to be doing this. Be better. He's like, be better. He even was like, I'll give you this to you for free. That's but no, Summer Games Fest is on. AKA E3. So
It's true.
it's just,
It kind of just
it's just
replaced
E3.
E3.
And today's event was just a showcase of a variety of indie games coming out. So there was quite a few different announcements for some showcases, some things to put on your wish list. No Silk Song, which doesn't Silk Song doesn't exist anymore. If you don't know what Silk Song is, it's Hollow Knight sequel that everybody and their grandmother has been waiting for. It was announced in 2019, and we haven't heard shit.
Bro,
Because they gave us Hades 2 in the meantime. Like that's not the same company, but I mean we got Hades 2, and I didn't even think that was gonna happen. But the motherfuckers talked about Hades 2 like 2 years ago.
I didn't think Hades 2 could happen. It's like, oh, you made this cool game where you escape out of hell. That's it, right? You can't do it. It's like when they told me there was a
Why
sequel.
would you go back?
Yeah, it's like when they told me they were going to make a sequel to John Wick. I'm like, did they kill his new dog? Like, what the?
I've not played Hades 2 yet. I have it downloaded. I mean, I actually own it, have it downloaded. It's one of those things where I'm like, I know that once I touch it, my life is ruined for a week. But yeah, some really cool indie games to look forward to. What's to mention?
Black Ops
Reckless.
6.
Reckless seemed cool. Reckless was a skateboarding game.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of like you play with your friends, super colorful. Reckless Drop the C. if you're searching it up. So that was pretty cool. There was
Serenity. Hades 2 is about getting into hell.
There's a variety of like small, like really just fresh announcements. Oh, you
know what's funny is I dropped the W.
Oh.
The first time I tried to spell it, I was like, I bet it's without the W.
I said drop the C.
No, I said before that.
Oh, you were like, I bet it's without the.
Got me.
Nah, it's without the C. Ukulele. So they did a remake of Ukulele. So if you need your Banjo Kazooie itch, there is
really
something
like
to be
the
scratched.
Impossible Lair.
Yeah, I think what was crazy was I think Ukulele came out and people are like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
The Impossible Lair is actually awesome.
Yeah.
But it got so swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And people don't realize there was a whole sequel that's really, really good out there, and it's such a cool idea.
I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun with it.
It looks like Spyro.
Well, I guess he does kind of. But the Impossible Lair is more of it's kind of closer to Donkey Kong Country. Because it was the Rare developers moved on, and this is their studio. So they made the first one is like Banjo Kazooie, and the sequel is like Donkey Kong Country, it's fun. It's more my style, more my speed, but it is hard as fuck.
Like Donkey Kong Country.
Like, I think people like have deleted from their brain like Donkey Kong was not easy. Donkey Kong was made for like they're like Mario's for the plebs. Donkey Kong is for the kings.
But Donkey Kong did have like the coolest music for that kind of era of games.
I mean, even in the newer games, still fantastic. But there was a fair bit of horror games that also were kind of showcased. Five Nights at Freddy's game was showcased. I think
a new one.
Yeah, and Into the Pits. It's 2D style. It had some really great sprite work. You can actually show the trailer for that one. I think for the indie games, I think that's usually cool to show trailers. But Into the Pits.
I know Devolver totally like Devolver.
Dude, it's a pit.
Yeah, no.
Sweet.
So if you show the trailer for that one, I think that has some really impressive sprite work. And I love me some good sprite work. They have some scenes where I was like, oh shit, that's good sprite work always makes me smile. I think 2D sprites are one of my most preferred. If it's really, really well done, one of my most preferred showings. But even this one was
even
cool.
doing just sprites for Five Nights at Freddy's, which has famously been like kind of a 3D game. Cool take. I'm down with that.
It's like you're running away, you're still hiding, you're doing some interesting things with it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Speaking of misses, like Five Nights at Freddy's movie, not great.
Yeah, this.
Oh, what the fuck?
This is really good sprite work. I see what you mean. Like, these definitely aren't Super NES sprites. There's more animation to them.
Nah. And you know, say what you will about Five Nights at Freddy's games, but I actually, I will genuinely say, I have an Oculus, Oculus 2, or Oculus Meta 2, whatever the fuck it is. That one on VR, game will fuck you up. VR headset, it is the best display of horror games in VR are the best match made in heaven. Only because that shit will literally leave you like, oh, hell nah. And I'm great with horror games, literally usually not phased. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I was like, you know what? If you're gonna give us another thing, I've liked the directions they've been taking it. I like the kind of open world style that they did with with Security Breach. That's a cool idea. I love that they're going 2D. That's an awesome idea. Just get creative with it, and there's gonna be people who are gonna play it and love it, and that's dope.
And just remember, you guys, on the Patreon, you can make Sam play this on Oculus if you donate enough money.
He won't have a good time.
It will be our shortest podcast ever.
That's sad. Someone said so. It's like a clock tower style FNAF game. Funnily enough, there is a remake of Clock Tower coming out. So your timing of that's actually awesome. That was another game that was announced at Summer Game Fest today.
Oh shit!
Yeah, not even kidding you. Yeah, Clock Tower remake.
Style. Neat.
And they went anime girls. Yeah. When in doubt, anime girls.
Is the Scissor Man gonna be hot now? Is he gonna be a waifu?
There's quite a few other games announced, and there's actually a whole page about it on Steam as well. So Steam covers any of the games that you can get on Steam, and it takes you to the relevant pages, so you can go wishlist a bunch. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out some of the trailers that came out.
I gotta get me a Steam Deck.
Let me tell you right now, I am the biggest Steam Deck stan you will ever meet. It's one of the best investments I've made. It has made the biggest dents to my back library, but also, just when it comes pound for pound, buck for buck, when I want to play a game that and just in the comfort of my own, sitting down in my pants, Animal Well, all that shit. I don't want to be I got my Switch over there, but A, it ain't gave me the deals that Steam is giving me, and B, doesn't have the library that Steam does, and so I can even play Baldur's Gate on that thing. I wouldn't do it. I'm stupid. But
the battery lasts 30 minutes.
Yeah. But I think the best part is, I think it's just the storage I really appreciate, because I have downloaded a fuck ton of games on my Steam Deck. That shit ain't even close to making me delete anything.
Well, I had a nostalgia question here today. Well, not really nostalgic. You could name a game that came out yesterday. But last time I asked, what was your favorite party game whenever you have a group of people coming over? Mm-hmm. And with us talking about movies and everything that's happened, what's been your favorite video game story that you played from the beginning to the end and was like, damn, like that took me for a good ride?
Like, so story mode in a video game?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be really fanciful and say, like, I don't know, Ryu's being the best, like, moved me. Like, it's possible.
Putting me on the spot, I don't know that I'd say it's my favorite, but the most fun ride I had with a video game story and playing through it was probably Uncharted 2. Because I thought Uncharted 1 was okay. I thought it was like, it's missing a little extra something to just push it over the top and be a 10 out of 10 for me. Then Uncharted 2 came out, and it did all that and threw a kitchen sink in there as well. Like, I remember playing through the last part, like after I beat the boss, and it's like, okay, now I just have to escape this crumbling city of gold, or whatever it was, Shangri-La. Mm-hmm. I beat the boss. Nothing else bad could possibly happen. And then there's a bridge collapse. And then I'm like, well, this is probably a cutscene, right? No, it's still gameplay. Well, at least there's not holy shit, there's monsters! Shoot them!
This is really tricky. Because I am someone who is kinetically driven. So, kinetic gameplay... So if you want to ask me about my top 10 games of all time, which don't do that to me right now.
That's next steps.
A lot, you'd see majority of my list is primarily just driven by your gameplay knock out of the park, your story I'm here to vibe with. And I'm not to say there's some well-executed stories, just to say, like, a lot of the times when I think of, like, games, there's also abstract storytelling that I don't really count as the same thing, right? I love Elden Ring, I love Sekiro, I love some of those other games. When I say their storytelling is, like, top tier.
That's a layered storytelling.
Like, that's a layered level of storytelling. Yeah. So I can't really give it all to just being told a story. That said, when it comes to, like, games where, like, I played start to finish in recent memory and was like, this storytelling is really dope. I do like P5 story, but I like P5 Royale story. So I have to put a caveat there. That's not my favorite story of all time, though.
But the problem is, or my only problem with when you say Persona is a great story, but like, there's some reading you need to do to figure out exactly what happened in that story to a degree. Like I can't say it without being spoilers.
Don't spoil it. You just need to watch more anime to make logical jumps.
And then the other issue is that, like, which bonds did you build? Because then you get completely different.
That's
story.
what I'm saying. Like, it's a very dynamic thing. But I do love the Tales of example because in recent memory, and now I haven't beat this game, but I will say, a Tales of game usually knocks it out of the park with their story a lot of the times.
Yeah.
And Tales of Arise story has been a fantastic journey. It's been in my backlog. Like, I've been halfway through that game, or a little bit over halfway through that game for a while. I'm just on a fucking hard boss because I decided to play that game on a really hard mode. I got stuck off my ass, and I said, fuck this.
Tales of Arise?
Tales of Arise.
There's a bunch of...
That story is super dope.
Is Tales of a series? Because somebody in the chat said Tales of...
Yeah, Tales of is a series. So Tales of Symphonia story is awesome. I've actually avoided looking at things related to it recently because I want to go back and I want to replay it.
I've never gotten into the Tales games, but one of my friends, and he actually like lived with me for a little bit here in Austin, he got really into them. He was playing through one in particular, and I watched him play a few times, and I was like, this is pretty dope. Like, I don't know that I have the time necessary to...
So on the RPG spectrum, they are the beefy boys.
Yeah.
The Tales of games are the beefy ones. But I do think like Tales of Arise is such a banger. I wish more people had played it. Other than that, honestly, Evil Within 1 and Evil Within 2, I think that's a one where I'm like, it is all over the place. But it was like
they are the games that I think they are.
Yeah.
they, how do I describe it?
I like 2 a lot.
I played through both, and one feels like a Resident Evil game.
It does, yeah.
And that's awesome.
I didn't play through 1, but my brother played through 1, and I pretty much just watched him play it.
I would highly recommend. Playing through.
This
1
sounds like a
sometime.
knock, but it's not. Like, it is. Well, first of all, Resident Evil 6 is kind of a new telling, but it gives you the feel of Resident Evil 1. Like, they have to copy off their homework a little bit.
Not Resident Evil 6.
Sorry, 7. Sorry, I forgot 6 is the bad one because I completely block it from existing.
Yeah. Series with such a high hit rate. You forget.
But Evil Within kind of it gives you the right
it was
feel.
made by the same director. So the director who did Evil Within, or if I'm not mistaken, it was made by the same director. That's why it felt so similar. 2, they had a whole different style of gameplay and a way different approach, and it was still awesome.
Is 2 when the bad guy is the like artsy photographer?
That's one of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of bad guys. But to that point, that studio does bangers when they existed. Because Hi-Fi Rush is another story that I was like, I'm watching a cartoon, and this is the best cartoon I could be watching.
That is a topic that we'll probably cover next time. That is just kind of just because I need to do research to be like, damn, what is the future of gaming with?
So Elijah, when he was here, he kind of asked me that. He was like, what do you think is going on with like all these live services? And me being someone who worked at Blizzard, I'm like, well, dude, this is kind of the same. We've been here before. In the late 90s to early 2000s, everyone saw how Ultima Online was bringing in bank. And so then Sony was like, let's make 5 of these MMO things. And then every other company was also like, let's make 10 of these MMO things. And then WoW came out, and everyone just played WoW. But people were still trying to make the next big MMO, the WoW Killer. The WoW Killer never came. The WoW killer was WoW itself.
The WoW Killer's Final Fantasy 14.
Well, right, but that was only after Blizzard was
after
like...
Blizzard blew itself up.
And with these live services, we're kind of seeing the same thing where, like, there's just not enough people in the world to sustain all of these live services, all these subscription-based services at once.
Yeah, I mean, look, you have the dichotomy of, and it's also like a backlog of like, hey, someone explained this in this way, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, I know Tango Gameworks. I know Tango Game. I was like, I don't want to say it. The more I say Tango Gameworks, the more it hurts. I was like, trust me. Actually, Hi-Fi Rush is the reason why I went back to play Evil Within 1 and 2. Fun fact. Like, pandemic numbers were really, really great because everybody was at home. Right?
Yeah.
So more people were just playing games in general.
Yeah.
So a lot of studios are
Jackbox never sold more games.
For real.
but like a lot of studios, a lot of organizations were sitting there and they were like, cool. So the numbers, let's say, you're selling, and I'm gonna use the exact same example I heard. It's like you're selling 10 apples, and all of a sudden you're selling like hundreds of apples, right? And then it goes back to where you're selling 10 apples. They're forgetting it's like it's still fine, like that you're selling 10 apples again, but you just hit this high. And they're constantly trying to get back to those numbers that are just quite frankly unachievable.
Yeah.
In conjunction, like at the end of the day, it's kind of just when it comes to live service, the economy is also a factor in it, to where it's like, hey, I only have a limited bandwidth of what I can spend things on.
That's one of the things that I think makes my MMO example a little like more sapient is that Sony had 5 MMOs under their belt, and they were like, hey, instead of paying an individual subscription to like WoW and to Ultima and all these other, just pay the Sony Entertainment Online subscription. You get access to all 10 or 5 of the MMOs we had in our library. And one of them was Star Wars Galaxies. But they still went down. It still tanked. They still could not bring down the many-headed Hydra that was World of Warcraft.
It's just a matter of like, when it comes to like, so what you want to spend your money on and what you want to spend your time on, I think a lot of bigger gaming organizations, even Sony to an extent, who I think they handle exclusives in a certain way too, just forgot, like, at the end of the day, we just want a really quality game.
Yeah.
I don't care what format it is.
Yeah.
I want a quality game. You're obsessing over live service and giving me a bunch of options of battle passes and all these other things. I want a quality baseline. I want a quality thing that I can purchase and really feel fulfilled by. Microsoft taking out, I want to rep the band. Microsoft taking off Tango Gameworks makes fucking no sense, because they just had a game that was winning and doing gangbusters, and they put it on the Game Pass. So yes, it's going to cut the number of like quote unquote sales, but literally, and I know there's a bit more nuances. Like I don't think Tango Gameworks had any games like that. They were probably, if I'm not mistaken, they were pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2, which if Xbox had any brain cells, they'd say, yo, we have this critically acclaimed game. Now we don't have to put this shit on the Game Pass first, even though they have to, because they've promised all their first party releases come on the Game Pass. It'll make gangbusters, make money, do flowers, everything else. Then you see a game like, what's crazy is they'll chase the live service examples because it makes money. Then they don't look at games like a Borderlands, games like a Helldivers, and figure out what makes them work. Mm-hmm. Which is Helldivers. No one's played Helldivers 1. If you've played it, you're lying. But the guys, the team that was in charge of Helldivers loved, how to put it? The team love the game. They marketed it. They were genuine. The team at Baldur's Gate, they're like, yo, I remember, I still give them so much credit because there was an update when it came out. They're like, we added 5,000 lines of dialogue. More shit, no cost. Hi-Fi Rush was the same example. More shit, no DLC. And you will get more gamers who will be vouching for you, doing a whole bunch of numbers whenever you deliver on games that are like back to being experiences or really, really well crafted indie games. And that's why I lean towards so many indie game creators. That's why Animal Well did so well that it did. Because it's just like games at the end of the day are passion projects. You don't have to treat them like multi-million-dollar affairs unless it really warrants it or it's a really creative idea. But unless you got something backing it or an IP that like they're trying to play it safe and just do sequels and IPs that make sense. But that doesn't even work to a certain degree. It's a very interesting, weird time, but it's gonna be cyclical. They're gonna figure out that guess what? You're forgetting that the same companies that are trying to get subscriptions in video games are the same ones who are trying to get subscriptions in other forms of media. There's a limit to the amount of subscriptions and things that you can buy and purchase at one given time. Hey, but like Real T, I just gave him shit. Like, I still think Game Pass is the most friendly in terms of consumer-friendly subscription in a gaming sense because it does give you a shit ton of things, but I don't know how it works with the developers if they're going to be fucking Tango.
They're going to be.
And Tango Gameworks.
The real sad part about the Tango Gameworks closing, apart from like everything that you mentioned, is that first time chatter.
They ran Halo into the ground, which is true.
That is true.
It's like when someone tells me, it's like, what is Microsoft's exclusives? And I hear Halo, I want to slap the taste out their mouth. Because I'm like,
Christopher Throbbing. That's a great name. I'm sorry, I couldn't read the last part.
I mean, the issue that not the issue that I have, but everything that you're saying, excellent points. But it still all comes from the consumer point of view, not from like the studios that are overworked and then you get fired, overworked and then you get fired, and then it's just kind of like, because I know we have a friend in the studio that's like, oh, bro, video games need a union, and I support you, brother, and everything that you're trying to do. That's not you're a long ways away from that happening with this being as
volatile as it is.
I think being indie and delivering on things, if you can afford it, is the best route. If you can't afford, and getting a fair publisher.
At this point in time, I would say if you can go indie, if you have enough talented developers and you have an idea and you can fund it sustainably, go indie. Go make a smaller game and build up your prestige, build up the sales, build up what you need to so that you can make the big game. But with Tango Gameworks, the real sad / kind of funny part was that the day after it closed, the head of Microsoft was like, yeah, man, it sucks this has happened, but we need like some smaller prestige games that people love. Oh, like the one, like Hi-Fi Rush, made by the studio that you just closed.
The studio that had, you want to go with the safe bet sequel? Fucking Evil Within 3. You've got you want to go with something that, or another safe bet sequel? Hi-Fi Rush 2. Literally, people were giving it so much acclaim. It's just such a fascinating thing because, and then the games that I am because there are games where I'm like, I talk about Master Duel. Why I like Master Duel so much is because, for a card collecting with it as it has you can buy things to buy things in the game. It's one of the fairest ones out there. You really and truly have a friend who's never spent a dime and has just as many things as I do. You have there's, how do I put it? You have games like League of Legends. You have games like I want to say there's a lot of games that are very fair with it. League of Legends.
I would say Pokemon Go is pretty fair with it.
Like there's a lot of games that are fair with it. And they still don't, and a lot of companies don't take that structure. I mean, I think Helldivers is really fair with it. But there's a lot of games that don't take that structure and apply it to other things. Helldivers is not a live service free game, so let me take that back. I paid for that shit. But to that point as well, I think that game companies just need to go back to making good games.
I think this meme took off like 5 or 6 years ago, and it's still true today. I want shorter games with worse graphics made by people that work less hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't need.
Yeah, I love Night Dive, Gamer Introvert Power. They remake classic games. They're the guys that remade Turok 2, and recently I think they remade System Shock.
The funny thing is like having elite graphics has never made me want to buy a game more.
No, I don't need it to look the. One of my favorite games of last year was Pseudo Regalia, and it's because it's basically a PS1 looking game, and it's awesome, and the gameplay of it is phenomenal. And every time I play it, you look at me like I'm a furry, but I'm not. But no, just jokes aside, it's such a well crafted experience. And shit was like $10. If you want me to throw out $70, $60, and the crazy part is, a lot of the times, I'll be that person who does throw that on fighting games. Because usually for me, fighting games, there are some exceptions. I'm not buying MK1. There are some exceptions, but a lot of times I put out that I'll throw out on fighting games because, again, mechanics and whatnot, and the gameplay flow. I know that I'm just going to be putting a lot of time and a lot of play into it.
I actually wasn't aware that Warner Brothers shut down Rocksteady this week.
I wasn't either. That's news to me.
Whoa, they shut down Rocksteady?
That's what Darth Rabbit is saying. Darth Rabbit, Warner Brothers shut down Rocksteady this week.
Check the Carfax. You must go online.
I did hear while you're checking the Carfax that one of the things in the Suicide Squad that was very headache causing is the game was 3 years into development, and then the guy was like, let's add cars and car levels, and they had to redo the physics for the entire game because they didn't take that into account.
Yeah.
And because that game had been in development, which I didn't know until I saw Matt McMuscle's thing online, since 2012.
Yeah. It was a different studio. It got passed around to like 3 different studios before it finally landed on Rocksteady's doorstep, and that's the one that we got. I think he also mentioned that part of the reason that like Gotham Knights exists was that studio had...
Oh, it's a rumor right now.
Oh, it's a rumor?
Yeah, no, they have not done it yet, but apparently they left a huge hole in their studio. And apparently Rocksteady is reportedly working on a Hogwarts Legacy director's cut, which doesn't make fucking sense because Hogwarts Legacy just came out, and you know the worst part about it? It's good, it's great, sold well. You're surprised that
I feel like the negative attention on Legacy just was like made a lot of people that would not normally game like, oh, I can be a wizard again.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my friend's girlfriends, she plays a handful of video games I've seen her play, but that was never her thing. But I, like a week after the game came out, he had a house party. I went over, and after everyone pretty much left, the party died down, and I was just helping him clean up. She turned on the PS5 and was like, I'm playing me Hogwarts.
My girl got my homeboy who y'all have met before, like his girl, Hogwarts Legacy, they've played it. It's crazy because it's just like, y'all, it's not hard to get the rhythm and the support from gamers. It really isn't. And you know, you just have to, like, first of all, respect intelligence. Have that one. I don't mind if you have that one greedy crash grab. What I mean by that is, if you have that one, I'm gonna look at you sideways, but you have that one. But don't try and make everything that same thing. Like Activision and Call of Duty, I'm like, fuck it, that's your one. That's that thing. Yeah. Then I'm like, I can't stop that beast. EA and Madden. I can't stop that beast.
EA has a lot, though.
EA has a lot. No. EA and Madden. They have a lot. And I don't know what Sony does for that, but they got most Japanese publishers on lock, so.
Oh, tangentially related to EA, but isn't the rumor that 2K has FIFA now?
Oh god.
That would be too much power.
I think I heard that somewhere. But it's just a rumor. I don't think it's been confirmed anywhere.
Wouldn't 2K have a monopoly then on anything but the rugby game and hockey?
No, because even when FIFA existed, PES existed, Pro Evolution Soccer. So there's no exclusivity with the FIFA license.
Just make good games. Let's just make good games. Make good games that make you take the long time for, like, make the game from software. They take years to do shit, and guess what? None of their games sell bad.
So I didn't get to answer my question just because I've divulged into this, which was an interesting conversation. And streamers actually killed this video game, of all things. Was critically acclaimed, was the first one to beat all the sports games for a Game of the Year award, and it's Telltale Games. But Telltale Games are very... You think you're making choices, but they just funnel you through the same story beats. And once people figured that out, they were just like, I'm just going to watch this guy play it online instead of buying the video game. But my favorite thing that they always did, because they did it within The Wolf Among Us and Tales of the Borderlands, is they grab existing IPs and then they tell new stories with them. Like, whatever those guys did, that's who Disney needs to hire.
The Wolf
Among Us.
The Wolf Among Us, yes. I've heard a lot of positives about that.
It's really, really good. But it's based on Fable, the comic book. Yeah. And it's kind of whatever those guys are doing, that's who Disney needs to hire to write the new Star Wars things. Where it's like, we're going to grab existing IPs, but you're going to be interested in this story.
Just, man, use your shit and make it fun. And I'm even a simp, like how to put it. I'll be the first one to say, y'all came on here and I said I plugged a shit ton of hours into Marvel Rivals. I plugged in a shit ton of hours into Marvel Rivals. Because you know who doesn't know how to fucking make a good hero shooter? It's like, no tea, no shade.
Valve?
Yeah. No, they've had that locked up for a while.
Isn't it broken? That was a big news thing that I heard.
Yeah, TF2 is going down, right?
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly negative for the first time.
It's crazy.
Ever.
It's because we're all on Marvel Rivals.
But yeah, I did not like Overwatch 2. Even when I was an employee and I had to shill Overwatch 2, I was like, I'm not about this.
Overwatch 2 is rough, man. Man, I was an Overwatch simp for like the first month that it came out, and then I kind of saw the direction. Marvel Rivals has scratched my itches, and they had fun with it, and it looked like they put money into it, and in Alpha I was like, this is dope. But yeah, I want more, like, I just want the studios to get back to feeling supported. I don't need sequels of games to, like, I also am on the inverse. I don't need games to come out right back to back to back. Some of y'all niggas need to speed some shit up. GTA 6, waiting as long as it did, is stupid. For any series. That's just dumb. Now, granted, will it make all of the money? Yeah. Am I stupid? Yes, but and can I hate on Rockstar? Because again, every studio gets their one. I know that's your one. Get your money on your GTA.
I just want a Bully sequel, please.
Yeah, but I just like
send him to college. I know that's the issue, is they don't want to show violence in high school. Cool. Send the bully to college. That's all you need to do.
You could just make it about the school and not the same kid.
Send him to college.
He shows up in Grand Theft Auto 4.
I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah, he's in one of the cutscenes. It's a cameo. He's in the background, but he's at a party. He's at a drug party.
That's funny. I don't know, man. And then, bro, I've talked about most of the other studios. Nintendo's doing Nintendo things, so I can't look at them any other way than Nintendo doing Nintendo things.
I still think it's funny that Nintendo was like, hey, they just tweeted it out, like, hey, Switch 2, in the works.
It's coming.
We're not going to talk about it in the next Nintendo Direct. By the way, Nintendo Direct next month. We'll talk about it later, though.
Making you manhunt, you cowards. You're definitely not going to do any manhunt. I can tell you that right now.
I think that one caused them way too much trouble.
Wow. I'm tired of this moderator deleting some chats. I feel you, Rakeem.
Yeah, we would have let it slip. Yeah,
freedom of expression. But yeah, no.
Well, while you're angry,
I'm still heated.
We're going to move over to the topic of anime.
Of course.
And My Hero Academia.
I mean, why are we talking about this?
Because it's probably the most popular thing
No.
that's happening right
No.
now. I know there's better, but it's not the most popular. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's the most popular.
Look, it's not the most.
It's the most
prettiest-
popular anime thing, kind of, sort of, because Demon Slayer's in a season where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked JJ. I was like, "Do you really want to talk about Demon
I
Slayer?"
mean, I can just mention that, like, yeah, he's training.
I like.
a whole season about being locked in that chamber in Popo's palace.
Hyperbolic titan.
Let me help you to show you how Demon Slayer should have handled this. They should have waited longer and should have just done a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Because if y'all think you gonna get anything, you ain't gonna. I don't know how they're gonna end off the season, but spoiler alert, they're gonna be training.
Well, you are right. My hero, I mean, not my hero, Demon Slayer is in kind of a slump. I'm not very interested, but I did have a question on that note, because you know how everything ends. You read the manga, and then my heroes were, I did the same thing that you did to a degree, where I'm like, I'm not interested in this because I know where it goes. How do you balance reading the manga, being interested in the IP, and still watching the anime kind of thing?
So I read mostly any show that I'm watching. I've probably read the manga. There's a few exceptions. If they don't have a manga available, or if it's light novels only, I ain't got time for that shit. So in a series, so it depends very much on the series. One Piece, I just love seeing it being brought to life. And it's a very different experience, and I like to be like fight scenes.
One Piece is so dense that by the time you're at another part, like
it's especially with what they're doing in the anime now, they're breathing a lot of life. It's hit this place of like, y'all are doing your damn thing on a lot of the episodes, and it's been great.
See, I get shades of it through TikTok. And it's just kind of like, oh, that character's back. He was around in episode 200. Like, nice to see him kind of return. And oh, he's gonna fight Luffy again. This can't be a go. It does not go.
That's how it works. JJK, I think, because it's a lot of action oriented manga just have there's a few exceptions, but most of the time are really elevated by the animated medium, because there's a lot of things where you're like, this is helpful to see, like in Fluidity, Mappa, abusive as hell, but they deliver very well on action scenes, and so that's awesome. That's awesome to get like some visuals on, and I'm really excited. Like, I usually get to the point where I'm excited to see things animated. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of how I feel about it. Something like a demon, something where like a My Hero Academia, where I'm caught up.
Yeah.
Right? Because fucking.
Well, it ended, didn't it?
No.
Well, ended.
No. Motherfucker came out and said, "There's an epilogue. I got it right." But it's got to the major story beat has ended.
Yeah.
Which has been cool.
No, it wasn't.
I didn't like any of this shit. So
well, I was interested at the beginning when I was like looking at Western comics, but we're gonna do it with anime. Because like One Punch Man being another version of Superman, I was like, they're telling new interesting stories of Superman. Like DC writers haven't really been able to do that in 20 years, and so now when I was like, they're going to cover comic books at whole. I was like, sweet, like I'm in. They're telling the analogies well. They're setting everything up, but then there's just a certain part in like season 2 or 3 where they're like, yeah, and it all is going to lead to like this quirk apocalypse. I'm like, don't go there, please. Please don't go there. I don't want any. I just want good versus bad in anime.
Yeah.
And now they go there. Like, that's the most important.
Well, it would have been. Again, these things have to be earned. And despite all of that build up, part of me didn't feel like it was earned to like the extent that it did. And like, there's other qualms and things. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, because where I kind of like bottomed out and I was like, man, this really lost its luster for me with My Hero, was that half season that focused on the villains, where
that was like last season, I think. Really?
Yeah, it was recent, but I fell out of it because while the villains are interesting, their power up didn't really feel earned, and they had to dedicate an episode to each one of the villains to show them getting that power up, but it's the same day. It's like repeating the same episode over and over, just from a different point of view. So for me, it was like, this is kind of a slog to get through. I'm going to clean my kitchen while this plays. And that's the first time I had ever done something like that with my hero, where it's like, I really don't feel like I need to pay attention to this. Once I saw one episode with a villain getting their power up, I'm like, oh, okay, they're all going to get a power up now.
And I mean, again, like, spaced over time, it'd make a bit more sense with me. But it didn't feel I don't know. It feels like, are they still in their first year? Are they second years now? Like, are they second years now? Because I'm really confused. But I think the major thing, because I do have some things in this final arc that I'm excited to look at, like from fight scene perspectives, from My Hero. But that balance, like you said, Demon Slayer I actually think is a good one. I say this sparingly because I think a lot of stuff happens in their last arc.
Yeah.
So for me, I've been waiting since season 1 to get to this place of the last arc where I'm like, this is where shit, it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's kind of my feelings on that. But also it's a very different experience because that one ended, right? A lot of the other ones are still going. So I don't know. A lot of the times I like seeing it get breath to life. Some of them, where I think the manga art is better. It's just sometimes the experience is a little bit different. Like One Punch Man, I think the manga art is just... Murata's just on a different level. There is Blue Lock. I actually think Blue Lock's art is manga art is phenomenal. I'm still excited for that though.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's things you're waiting for to get animated for a while, like Magi. If Magi gets to season 3, I'll implode on myself. You will see a grown man implode on myself because Magi doesn't get to the cool shit, and it was so good. But it was in that era of anime in 2013, 2014, where the animation matches up to today's quality. It's very interesting. But yeah, going back on to shitting on My Hero.
Need more Magi for real.
I'm telling you, I'll fucking tweak out. It ended off so good. Like, everything was so good, Magi.
I did dig Magi a lot.
Yeah, no, my Hero, like, it's such a weird camp to where it's like, and I don't necessarily, like, I say all the shit I say about My Hero, and I still give it, like, a high C, low B.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's failing.
I don't think it's bad.
Like, I'm not sitting here and saying it's bad, not saying it's failing, not saying, like, it deserves...
Saying that for me, it lost its luster a little bit. I'm not as into it as I was before. Like,
I'm gonna see the major scenes. I think they animated, how to put it, Stars and Stripes, really dope. Too bad,
Yeah, and that was another thing, particularly with the start of this season, that I was like, ooh, you guys fucked up. Like, this should have capped off last season.
It shouldn't be the start, for sure.
No, it shouldn't have been the start, because you're hyping this hero up for, like, however long it was in between seasons, and...
to end off the way it did.
Yeah, like, I know this fight isn't going to go anywhere. Like...
But that's the other problem. Like, I don't like fights that feel like there's no... Oh, there we go. It doesn't feel like there's an active progression in My Hero, if that makes sense. Like, for
with Deku, yeah, I would say there is.
No. What I mean by that is, so
you can see him make more imaginary friends in his head.
So, so I'll put it this way, right? With like, usually you have your big bad, your big bad, right? In some series, you have your big bad, your big bad, and there are people up until that big bad that you are progressing your way through.
Yeah.
Reason why a lot of people were really into things because they had the mob guy, Chigaki or whatever, who in that fight in season 2, and they were like, cool, textbook. In between that and now, it's been the same focus point and and just build up to that conflict without any midpoint progression points.
Well, I remember at the point season 2, season 3, when they were like, oh, we're going to introduce the Yakuza on the next season.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just kind of like, dope, that makes sense. Of course the Yakuza, organized crime, would also use quirks and stuff like that. But that's the last time they did it. Like, I think technically there's that one city is like, we take care of each other and we're bad guys, which they end up fighting or whatever in the villain arc. But it was also kind of like they don't have a lot of side progression is the best way I can put it. There's not a lot of Koopa Juniors to fight on the way to Bowser. You're just fighting Bowser 5 times.
And it's like, cool, you know, it's cool to see that, because I just recently, I think what's also delta of this is like I've recently done some bit of rereading of JJK, and JJK, I'm like this is why it's top of mind for me. JJK, without spoiling too much, like, you know, they're fighting their big bad too, or you know, there's some interactions with that, but to that point, in the manga, or at least, I was like characters are having these progression points. Characters are doing other shit.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, like they know who the big bad. Everyone knows who the fucking big bad is, and there's actually a couple. And you're like, cool. How do we get to that point? Do they just get murked by the same person repeatedly? I mean, this man. Now you set me on the tangent, because the One for All conflict just has taken for fucking ever. It just absorbed the shit for so long.
He does kind of feel like Noraku at this point, where it's like, you guys still can't kill this son of a bitch.
Well,
One for All, and then it's like, I'm taking over his body. I'm in control of him. I'm in control of him. And
I can't talk about JJK too much because we don't know how it ends. It's literally still going. But JJK kind of feels a little bit like the way Marvel told the story of Thanos. So it's like, yeah, he's there. You don't want him to show up, and when he does show up, he just fucks shit up, and then he leaves. Other stories happen. Then he shows up and fucks someone up again, and then goes away. Now that they're fighting him, it does feel a little Endgame-ish.
Yeah.
Kind of.
it feels like, because you get to this point, and it's like, cool.
And my hero feels like the way DC told the story of whoever they were, Darkseid, where it's like, yeah, he was right there from the jump, and you're going to fight him 2 more times, and you're already lost interest.
And I'm like, there's overpowered done right, and it doesn't feel overpowered done right. And that doesn't mean JJK's perfect. But I'm just saying, like, that is being a focal point, an example. Now, granted, I'm not expecting everyone to have like arc-esque villains, but that does help. That builds structure, because at the end of the day, you feel like you get also with One for All having every quirk, and then they don't even specify quirk, and then quirks gonna go out the fucking window. The motherfuckers gonna do whatever the fuck they want. A lot of confusion, because One for All has everything basically, right? And so there's no weight to adding to no weight to something that happened where it's like, oh, you know, Stars and Stripes did this thing. Has no weight because the motherfucker has all the quirks.
Yeah.
So, what's the point? That's. I got to the end of My Hero and I said, what's the fucking point?
Here's my like very selfish American like gripe with this, and it's my gripe with all anime in general sometimes, because I'm a history nerd. At the end of the day, that's like what drives a lot of the things. So that's what makes me very interested in Drifters, what makes me very interested in Record of Ragnarok, despite everyone saying Record of Ragnarok looks like a PowerPoint for the first season. But I'm like, cool. But I always just thought it was kind of selfish of Japan to be like, hey, because this is a Japanese story, 5 of the 7 heroes are Japanese swords. Like,
because I just recently caught up to fucking to Record of Ragnarok, and I'm like, slimy motherfucker. Yeah,
warriors throughout all of the world.
Right.
No, we need 7 samurai.
Bro, even JJK said, nah, most curses are in Japan. That's why there ain't that many sorcerers elsewhere. Got one nigga in Africa. Like, so that's really it. And then, what was it?
They even send their dude to Africa to go train.
What was it? I think My Hero has a similar thing where it's like,
All Might is #1 hero.
and they're like, oh, I'm fine with that, but I'm like, that's again potential. My Hero, just things when you think of, I'm just like, there's a world, and you've already said a bunch of countries have heroes.
Right.
This is a world-ending problem. A bunch of countries there is like, nah, Nah.
And the way they wrote themselves out of it was One for All being like, or All for One being like, yeah, no,
All for One, thank you.
Yeah.
All for One.
I have friends in many places, many countries.
So,
They will also fuck shit up.
But it was also kind of one of those things, and this is people that like just watched the anime were complaining about, like, oh, like you introduced these two other badass schools and then never talked about those characters ever again.
They're the B tier heroes. That's where Endeavor went.
And again, I don't want to seem like flowers. If you love My Hero, that's dope on you. Because I'm certain some piece of this is going to end up in a TikTok. Make sure you include this too. If you love My Hero, good on you. But I'm being real when it comes to just from a storytelling perspective.
The Bakugo story is legitimate, pretty great, except for the payoff.
Man, there's a lot of story threads in My Hero that I'm like, My Hero Vigilantes, still the best My Hero property and thing you can read. I feel like it does just everything like grounded enough, but goes to cool places, likable cast, person's in college.
Yeah.
So like, very different like vibes. And I like that experience.
One note of this. So this is when I was out of anime. I got back in during COVID. I've seen a lot of TikToks that are like, damn, nobody dropped the ball harder than Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Like was everywhere for a year or two, and then...
Tokyo Ghoul probably has like one of the best intros ever put to animation, like ever.
I would say, but man, you know who taught me you cannot trust that? Promise Neverland.
Yeah.
Promise Neverland has
also
one of the
dropped the ball
strongest
so hard.
literally one of the strongest first arcs. And if you read the manga, I don't know what the fuck the anime did. If you read the manga, one of like the first few arcs, stellar. That story goes. Fucking,
I keep forgetting the name of the arc, but the one where they're being hunted, like.
Goldie Pond.
Yeah, Goldie Pond. That one. I was like, oh, okay.
That's cool. And then after Goldie Pond, then you have what is it? But there's a lot of cool shonen that are actually like there's a lot of really cool shonen stories that are about to get animated. And so you have Dandadan, which is going to be awesome. I don't want to give too much about that, but it's going to be awesome. You have Sakamoto Days, which
I'm hyped for that.
I have actually, so that's been one that's been in my back pocket. I plan on reading it like to its fullest this weekend.
Oh, Sakamoto Days is the one about Fat John Wick getting married.
Yes.
That's the way that Edward put it.
And he runs a convenience store.
And it is, I'm very excited because I'm going to be reading that this weekend. I've been kind of chipping away at it, but I've never like just read it straight. So I'm rereading the portion I read and then kind of going off from there. Gachu Akata, I think that's how you pronounce it. That one's been in my back pocket and it's getting animated by fucking Bones. I'm stoked. I want a trigger. It's a trigger one because the art style is so cool.
What's it called?
Oh my gosh. Gachu Akata. Let me see if I can spell it for you.
But yeah, like Winsaw said, no, it was Calamity. Sakamoto Days is goated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gachi Akata. It has that expressive, fucking kinetic art style.
Ooh.
It's so dope. Very cool power system. And
Okay, I'm in.
and like such a cool dynamic and with Bones behind it. Ooh, I'm stoked. I'm very, very stoked for people to be able to see that one because it's been one that's kind of been in like people who know about it are like, this shit's dope. It looks dope. It looks cool.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like not because it hasn't gotten animated yet. So it's kind of just been cooking. And it got a good studio, so I'm excited about that. Sakamoto Days has a studio that's questionable. But I'm hoping they just deliver that. Trailer looked good, and I just need them to deliver.
Mashal doesn't have like a great like animation style. It's still carried by the story.
No, but I say Mashal is done by A1 Pictures, and when they deliver, they deliver.
True.
Right. So, but
Saying that like not everything needs to be done by Mappa.
no. But there's still some like there's still some studios that I'm like, oh, like there's like Oshinoko was done by, if I'm not mistaken, a studio that no one knows of. And Oshinoko has some of the best work, and they're coming out with they just announced it. They're coming out season 2 next month, and that'll be a treat. So there's still a lot of great storytelling if you're really into anime. And, of course, there's one that are currently going on right now. Cloverworks is knocking out of the park in an area I didn't know that they could do with Windbreaker, which, it's kind of doing a little bridge there.
Okay, thank you. Because that was already pulled up.
I honestly thought we were going to transition from Yakuza into Windbreaker because I saw episode 1 finally, and I was like, this is just Yakuza. This is just Yakuza, only with high schoolers. I'm in.
I still think it's Letterkenny, and then it even becomes more Letterkenny.
You have not played Yakuza.
This is true, but I still think it becomes more Letterkenny-ish because at a certain point, at least where I'm up to, is like, no, this is about defending our town. Like, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, Kiryu's honorable. He defends a little girl and a town, and orphans.
Well,
it's universal.
I read ahead in Windbreaker.
Oh, you did?
I did. I did not catch up because I said I still want to be surprised by
How far is Windbreaker? Like,
it's a lot longer than you think. I was like, this bitch is at 100-something chapters, and there's a lot of arcs that I'm like, motherfucker, I don't know what y'all covering in this first 12 episodes.
I mean, and it was funny because this dropped on Hulu, and Tokyo Revengers, and I was just kind of like, I was really interested. I was hooked in the first season, but that's one of them that I looked ahead and I was like, no, this is dumb. Like you overdid it. Like,
no, Windbreaker is something where, so I like what they did here, because I do feel like, and we're going to be talking about all the way up to where it currently is. Windbreaker does like friendship. It's about building some bridges, but they do have hands, and I like where it's going to be going.
Yeah.
I also, it's like a really amazing character that'll probably be introduced at the end of this season.
Well, I really like the characters that we got so far.
I know, like, and we'll talk about that too. But like, they've got some characters like, I think because they've talked about the. They talk about the 4 kings of Bofurian, right? And, one of them is Hiragi.
Yeah.
The other 3, you actually get very well introduced into some of the other higher players. And one of them is really, really, like, I'm like, shout out to the author for even approaching that the way that they did. But it's really cool. Just some of the, and reading it and then seeing how they animated it, I'm like, Cloverworks, flowers, because y'all make, like, when I want to see hands in boxing.
Yeah, I was not expecting that fight to be as cool as it was, like, to be honest with you.
Like, fucking the Sakura versus, Togama fight. Mm-hmm. Animated wonderfully, but all the fights came out wonderfully. And the one that I think a lot, like, and what I love about Windbreaker is the one that I think a lot of people wanted to see was the one with the least amount of fighting. Because he was like, are you guys completely caught up?
Yeah.
I am not. I have only seen the first one.
You've only seen the first fight.
I had to make 2 thumbnails today.
Gotcha. So, yeah, the one you're thinking you're going to only see the most is the shortest one. And it's, but, I've been loving it. It's been a treat. I love the storytelling with it. It isn't one of those ones where they're building off into nothing. So far, no spoiler alert, the progress with Sakura is so cool. It's a fucking protagonist that's learning to be better. I didn't know that was possible. No, I'm kidding.
I think the word you're looking for is stronger.
Yeah. So, no, just
get stronger.
As a
he's
person,
legit
like Goku, lift heavy thing.
he's like, I want to be a better person too. It's a lot of different things.
Well, he doesn't.
You can't be both.
I was about to say he doesn't actually like super want to be a better person. He just keeps getting shoved into scenarios.
True. They're like, you gonna love us. You gonna love us, and you gonna love us. But
tolerate and respect you.
But yeah,
I will say, and this is kind of going off of like, I remember I told Sam this, and this was when I was 20 something, so it doesn't work anymore. But I was always like, I liked when King of Fighters, like that's kind of like where you got your style from, or where I got my style from for a little bit, because I was like, they didn't look like you can't go walk down the streets looking like Ryu.
no, unless you're cool.
But you can walk down the streets looking like a King of Fighters character for the most part.
Kyo.
Well, you can't walk down like Kyo because he's wearing a school outfit. But
But it's black jeans and a black jacket. Like,
But that's actually what I was going to bring up on the aspect of Windbreaker. That I'm like, dude, we don't get to be that cool in high school.
It wasn't even half that cool. It wasn't even half that cool. I also like there's more there's a lot of character players in Windbreaker that I think people will like. Honestly, in terms of a surprise adaptation, one that was not on my radar, and after reading it too, Cloverworks, Flowers. You guys are killing this rework. I mean, you guys are killing this adaptation.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people who are actually watching Windbreaker are also feeling like that too. So, and since you're caught up, Marcos, you know, I am a fan of the leader as well. I am a fan.
Well, on to another. This is actually the other anime that I won't say is the most popular, but it's definitely making waves on TikTok, or at least my TikTok thing. Maybe it's the combination of liking anime and being 30, and it's like, hey, bro, we got an anime for you.
If your blood pressure's up, get your hands up.
But this was the first one that me and JJ got addicted to, that of the list that you recommended. I would say probably Windbreaker is my favorite now of the list that you got. But Kaiju number 8 still holds like a special part in my heart. That being said, I didn't know that I believe this one has the opening that was straight up done by a rock band. It was done by...
Yep. And the ending done by a band. Yeah, it's just yeah.
Yeah, because JJ was talking about the ending, and he was like, "Oh, I really like it. It's something. It's one of the best."
Nobody
intros.
got you. Where's the?
It's straight up Youngblood.
I take it. Hey, when it comes on, I'm like, damn it.
yeah.
I think it was made by Youngblood.
I think they're the opening. Yeah.
Youngblood's open. I see your eyes.
But it straight up looks like a Tool song at this point.
Someone please save my life.
But yeah, it's funny the amount of times that I'll catch somebody talking about it. And it's like, oh, it's an anime for old dudes. Because
It's just
I will say
people who are mature.
I will say I like reaching Windbreaker. I cannot relate to like, oh, I'm a high schooler that's going to beat up other high schoolers. I can relate to, I don't like my job that much.
I want to follow my dreams.
I mean, that's why I was really into Zom 100, because I was like, damn, Blizzard do kind of be like that sometimes.
That's also another hardball drop.
Zom 100 season 2, just make it consistent. No, Kaiju number 8. I have a feeling. I have a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling of where it's going to end this season.
Is this one that you've read ahead to?
I've said, assume I've read ahead, with some rare exceptions. I just like reading manga. Just the time it takes for me to watch an episode, I can.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't like watching the episodes. I still watch the episodes just as much as anyone else, because I want to see some cool shit. Kaiju number 8. Joy continues.
Chapter came out for it too.
It did, yeah. It's a treat. It's awesome. I know where the story is going to probably end the season, and I'm excited for people to get to see that. It's, if you can't tell, it's also a show that doesn't take some shit off the gas.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers just solved a problem. There's a whole other problem that the latest episode ended off on, and it's so funny because it's like, anyway, are you guys caught up?
Yeah.
I'm like an episode behind, but I do think that it's funny that because it is still one of the anime that it suffered, and it wasn't just this one. Hell's Paradise did the same thing. The people with colored hair are going to be important.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of black-haired individuals in this one, though. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if there's any like gut shows I think have probably secured their second course. I think Kaiju number 8 does. I'd be astonished if Windbreaker doesn't get a second core.
Oh, yeah. It has to.
If Cloverworks doesn't pick that up.
And you know what's funny on
In
this
terms
note?
of new, I think those are the two that I would like go all in, like 100%.
Well, we didn't have an episode about that time, but I mean, I think people really like Solo Leveling a lot too.
It's already got its second season. That's not a problem.
Yeah, but that came out like February. Like it still was this year. Other than that, I don't really know what super came out. I do know that Lazarus was supposed to come out by now, and it disappeared.
More Ninja Kamui, right?
That is one that may not get a second season.
It's not getting anything. I don't even know how it ended. But
it ended with giant robots.
what is it? Another. Oh, Konosuba's out right now, and it'll keep on going for as long as it goes.
Oh, that's Edward's favorite, I think. Edward's favorite isekai, I think.
Yeah, it's Konosuba's great.
I didn't get to see it. JJ was struggling to catch up, but Elijah is gone. He wanted to talk about Delicious in the Dungeon, or Dungeon Meshi.
I haven't caught up either.
I caught up. I watched I didn't watch today's episode. There should be a drop today. But yeah, I saw everything up to last week. So I always dug it. I thought it was a really fun show. We just never really talked about it because I can't trust Netflix. I can't trust.
After who fucks up JoJo? Like who fucks up JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Well, the funny thing is that me and JJ waiting for Elijah to land. We're ended up watching this weird anime. I just don't know what it's called. It was like Garud the Lone Wolf or something like that.
Garuden or something like that.
Yeah, and I was like, it sounds really cool. We saw like 15 minutes of it, and it looked okay, but it was just like, there's going to be some sort of tournament. Because apparently if you fight in an anime, like Netflix wants it. Like we want Baki, we want...
Tegan Ashura.
Yeah. And now they're fighting each other, so...
It was dope.
Garud was just like, yeah, they're reluctantly pulling this guy into the tournament because he accidentally killed a guy. So he's like, no, I don't fight people anymore. I only fight bears.
Yeah. The show starts with him fighting a bear. That's not spoilers. That's episode 1.
I love that.
I also really dug the intro and like the visuals of it. It's very 80s.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's him decking
That's
a
me.
bear.
All the time.
We are seeing the speculation of the next season of Kamen Rider. That's not an anime, though. I mean, I think they're going to get it for sure, but still.
I don't think Kamen Rider will ever die.
No, we'll never. That's like even the last 2 Godzilla movies flopped, which they didn't. Like, everyone either paid to see Godzilla vs. Kong or loved Godzilla -1. Or both. But either way, yeah, you'll still get another Godzilla
But theaters
movie.
are dying, Marcos.
Yeah, but they'll go to streaming. It's just that the middleman is dying, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. We literally have a topic. We had a topic before about why are theaters dying. We have a topic with music at some point about why are people not willing to go to concerts. It's just...
Nigga, we broke.
It's definitely that. That's part of it. But Kevin Smith kind of said your point. Only like he compared it to vinyl, where it's like it never really goes away, but only the people that are into vinyl are buying vinyl.
Yeah.
And only the people that are into cinema and like going to the movie theater are going to the movie theater.
Or like, I
That's
mean,
what it
there's
comes
just
down.
only there's certain shit I want to see in a theater. There's certain
Yeah.
shit I want to see in the coming. Like, I'm gonna go see that. I'm gonna go see that Spider-Verse movie when it comes out, and I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna be fucking tweaking on colors.
You're talking about a movie that doesn't even come out this year.
I know.
So
I'll see-
you
I'll-
won't catch TJ on McGrew's reviews for the rest of the year.
No, I'm probably gonna. Not probably. I will be seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
I'm actually not as hyped about it as everyone else just because of Deadpool 2. Like, it wasn't great.
I didn't hate Deadpool though.
I also might watch the new Bad Boys.
That one might be McGrew's reviews.
I'm not watching it for him. I'm watching it for Quentin Paco because they're watching it like tomorrow, and I'm like, ah, god damn it, you guys are gonna make me watch.
You're gonna drag.
We're gonna have to talk about this, aren't we?
Well, guys, I think that'll be it, and we'll save the movies for the next time.
I mean, that could be real quick.
Star
Okay.
Wars Acolyte, Episode 1, really good. I'm into it.
I
There,
watched.
we've covered everything on the thumbnail.
I did like Star Wars Acolyte. I was just kind of like, it's at this point where everybody is anti Star Wars because they kept repeating the same mistakes.
Hey, no. I want it to be known. Check the Carfax. Your boy's been standing on business since day one. I've been about that Star Wars action.
Well, you know how you said that you hated it had actually led to our 7 million viewed whatever Ginger's video topic. You said you hated Star Wars because they took away your Black Jedi. Well, now you got a Black Sith.
Of course.
No, she's an Acolyte.
I'll check out Acolyte, I guess.
Well, I can't really highly recommend it, but it's not bad.
Right,
It's,
they even the shows that are like not the top tier Star Wars shows still kind of pull off a decent intro or a decent, first step.
yeah, Obi-Wan is trash, but that first episode was cool.
I'll check it out then, boys.
Yeah, but I really dug episode 1. I like seeing Jedis with kung fu, not just lightsabers.
See, I always thought, like Tales of the Borderlands, Star Wars just needs to focus on other areas, which is why I liked Andor so much. But it did.
Oh,
I
you
was
mean there's a whole galaxy of shit?
yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, when Kylo Ren isn't blowing up entire star systems.
And I don't want to focus on it.
There's
And in that entire universe, there can't be one Black Jedi. I'm just saying. Still mad about it.
Mace Windu.
yeah, he's the one.
The one.
I mean, I think in this one you get an uber white alien and then an Asian guy. Like, actually, that's one of the things that people were mad about. I don't think people were mad about it, but that people were mad there's no white dudes in this movie. But I'm just kind of like, it balances it out. But then people were complaining about the acting, and I was always kind of like, they always were never great actors outside of, like, Harrison
Lizzo was
Ford.
in one of these. Let's not start getting on a high horse in this shit, all right?
But no, I mean, if you want to do your movie reviews, you saw everything from Weathering with You, Suzume, and Your Name.
Did I not talk about either of these on air? I guess I haven't.
You talked about Your Name, but you didn't.
Okay.
No, yeah.
So I gotta do some course correction because people are like, "Oh, shut up! Your Name is one of the best things." Get off my dick! I started off that bitch with an 8. All right. Almost got to a 7 because of y'all complaining asses. Let me go through the list right quick, and I'll make sure to get us in here for under 10 minutes and less. All right. Number 1, Weathering with You is the best of his movies. I think Weathering with You is his number 1. I think artistically it is prettier. I think the scene and dramatic scenes hit a little deeper, but I also like the characters and the surrounding cast a lot better as well. I truly think that from an and the fuck off ending is one of the best. That like the way that it ends, I have not laughed. That shit was so funny. Because I just said, really? This is how we're end? This is how y'all want to end? That's how they want to end. That shit was a treat. I truly loved it. Genuinely, it was a great experience to get to watch and just get to like be on that ride. I liked Weathering with You a lot. I think on my scale I gave it like a 9.5. That was the one where I was like, this clicks. I get it. Suzume, the first half, they made me love a chair. How you gonna make me be like, oh yo, this chair is dope? But outside of that,
I don't know, man. I have this pretty kick-ass recliner.
hey, fuck that recliner. Your chair ain't making moves like that other one was. Art style again, super pretty.
Pretty much just like that.
Is your chair a metaphor for your childhood trauma?
That's
Sometimes.
all a metaphor. Suzume is doing too much at the end. Tries to it switches its tonality in the movie, which is fine.
Yeah.
But A, that's the one with the romance. I'm like, this feels the least earned. B, it's also the one where I'm like, y'all are still trying to do a little too much with all the stuff at the end.
You know what's funny is like the part that hit a lot was like her meeting her younger. Sorry, spoilers for here. Her meeting her younger self in the afterlife or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I felt like this might have been his first movie about self-actualization. Like that works. But then they throw in 30 minutes of like, but you love this dude, right? Like somebody like went into his office and was like, where's the love story? And I'm like, this didn't need it. You made this movie 30 minutes longer for no reason.
I mean, I'm glad you thought that worked. That's not to say I didn't think it worked.
Spoilers for a movie I will never see.
but no, seriously, I did like it, and I did like where it ended off as well. Like I like all of the pieces there. Still pretty, still excellent. My ratings went as follows: Weathering with You number 1, Suzume number 2, Your Name number 3, and I have to repeat that for the people in the back. Your Name number 3. All right, it ain't bad. It's like an 8. Okay, cool. Weird.
It's actually a pretty high score.
Yeah, it's like a 7 or 8. It's like a 6 or a 7. It's like 5 or a 6.
That is where you're
like a 4 or 5. They start going down. I also watched quite a few from a different director as well. So I did come on here. I think I've talked about The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, which is a fantastic movie. Phenomenal. Highly recommended. One of the all-time classics. So from the same director, had the opportunity to watch Summer Wars.
Oh, yeah. Summer Wars is dope.
And The Boy and the Beast. I'll start off with Summer Wars. Summer Wars is on coke. All right? That movie is just a lot of shit jam-packed into one movie. I was not confused, but I was confused. But, you know, the crazy part is when you take a step back and you're like, the main character isn't the main character. The main character is the collective. The main character is the family itself. Mm-hmm. That is what made it click in my head for me. Visuals are so amazing. I mean, this guy has a very unique art style, and I was actually a fan of it. Because if you've ever watched the first Digimon movie, it's the same director. If you've ever watched One Piece movie 6, which is a totally different vibe from the other movies, same director. So this guy, he knows how to deliver on those pieces. I do think there's a couple of layers that, you know, nearing the end where I was like, all right, the gravitas of the situation.
Summer Wars is by the same person that did Belle.
Yeah. Like it's like, yo, hey, you gotta, there are some like things in the family, and I was like, y'all, they're trying to save the world. Y'all gotta be stupid. Stop being stupid. All right. But it all ends off in a very warm, cool feeling. I like it a lot. I don't like it more than A Girl Who Leapt Through Time. But the one that I was surprised by, genuinely surprised by, was The Boy and the Beast. That is an incredible movie. Like one of my favorite things I've watched, animated in general, very recently. Don't look too much into it. Wait,
It's just the title. It
no,
doesn't-
no.
literally all the pictures are just this over
Hey,
and over.
stop it. I didn't know what to expect going into this movie. I didn't know what to kind of anticipate going into the movie. Didn't know anything, really.
I mean, all I would guess is just by looking at it is it's another N Cub movie kind of thing. Am I wrong? The samurai.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah.
Man, this is really cool.
Okay.
I don't want to but the general premise is,
Hey, man, me saying that it's kind of that thread does not take away from it. I still love the first 2 seasons of Mando. That is definitely
literally,
all right.
you're good. No, I don't want to give too much. That's the problem. I don't think it's a bad thing either. But the general premise is kid meets this beast.
Yeah.
Obviously, they become, I don't want to say friend. He becomes his disciple in a way.
Yeah.
It builds up to a lot of different layers. But ultimately, man, I'm not someone whose heartstrings get tugged on a lot in movies. Anime movies, they get cooking. So anime movies, they touch me in a different way. But this one, if I was not under the influence, I would have been a big ball mess of baby tear works in some scenes because goodness, do they do a good job of earning that relationship? And it might not click with everybody like that, but it clicked with me like that. And I do not understand why it clicked with me so hard, but it was such a treat that I was like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? How come no one's raving about this? And a lot of the critiques online, I don't get. Fuck you. So I was like, but sometimes, there's a movie that like, you're just like, you know what? Flaws and all, even though I don't think there's a lot of flaws in this, is like flaws and all, this is just a banger. And that's what that is. It's, I couldn't tell you what my favorite is between A Girl Who Left Their Time and the Boy and the Beast. They're very different, but oh my goodness, I give high praise to The Boy and the Beast. I'd watch it with a kid. If you have a kid, I'd watch it like, by yourself. If you're by yourself, it was such a surprise, and genuinely, I've watched a lot of anime movies recently. Generally, probably one of my favorite just viewing experiences. And in case you needed a secondary opinion, Michaela agreed.
Well, guys, that'll be it for us here today. Thank you for joining us on the Animexcellence. Coming back on Tuesday will be JJ and Sam for the comeback of the Compas. And then...
That show's still a thing? I didn't know. We haven't done one in weeks. I'm kidding.
A week.
It's only been a week. But usually there's multiple compasses.
This is true. But we're getting pretty close to football season.
And then I'm back onto my weekly duties. And JJ's
I
like,
have Tuesdays off.
JJ goes on holiday vacation.
But thank
See
you all.
my family again.
Get back into the closet, JJ.
You're on thumbnail duty again.
On Pride Month? How dare you?